Hey there, happy Wednesday and happy New Year. For those who are new here or who may have forgotten over these last 4 months while I've been in hiding, or that's how it feels, I'm Sherry Samuels, life coach, teacher, writer, and expert at teaching women how to reconnect to their authentic voice and create a life where they are fully thriving. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about where I've been. At the beginning of September, I began what became a hiatus, unexpectedly, leading me to put a pause on many parts of my professional life. And as much as I love offering support and encouragement as we all continue to figure out all of this stuff called life, my weekly newsletters and videos ended up being one of the places where I had to put the pause. Why? Well, almost 2 weeks to the day after recording my last message, way back in August, my wife and I welcomed our then 2-year-old niece into our little world. In the blink of a pair of beautifully curious chocolate brown eyes, we went from a party of 2 to a party of 3. Okay, more like 2.5. 1 minute weekend mornings included brunching in DC as we talked about everything and nothing, and the next, almost literally, they were filled with Cheerios and Gracie's Corner. If you don't know about Gracie's Corner, you want to find out. I went from life as a business owner, wife, and quasi-foodie to full-time auntie and part-time everything else. My time and attention shifted in ways that at times felt overwhelming as I wrapped my mind around setting new priorities and releasing control. To be completely honest, some days the only thing my body could access was tears of joy, of gratitude, of sadness, of confusion, of excitement, of hope. I was on a roller coaster. And as much as I hate roller coasters, the physical and emotional ones, somewhere in my spirit, I always knew this ride was exactly the one I needed to be on. This ride has been one with messages and moments that have taken my breath away. And for that, I am so grateful. So over the next few weeks, as I dive back into life and my current normal, I will take some time to share a bit about what I've learned and rediscovered along the way. Let's start with that one thing that feels most important for me. Maybe you've heard the saying, man plans, God laughs. So I'm going to just tell you that since our niece joined us, I've been perfecting my comedy routine. God is really laughing. I mean, I like a plan. I actually love a plan. It feels good. But if I'm not careful, planning can easily slip into the realm of attachment to outcomes that feed internal conflict with this long-standing desire to be in control of everything. Let me just tell you, that's not a fun or funny place to be. Control is the thing that the universe consistently finds ways to push me to stop trying to make myself believe I have. And for the last 4 months of 2022, that felt like a big, big push to let go. You see, as much as my niece loved the Ivory soap experiment, and I did too, our dance parties, such good cardio, and painting, preferably her hands because why not, she didn't care about my carefully curated plans for each week. She didn't care that I had researched age-appropriate lesson plans and activities to literally fill each of her days. She cared about her snack breaks and taking long walks in the neighborhood, stopping along the way to talk to the squirrels or just to sit in the big piles of leaves that were outside. She cared about singing and dancing and playing with Legos and blocks and musical instruments all at the same time. She cared about Auntie Sherry sitting with her on the couch. She literally says, "Sit, Auntie Sherry." Sitting with her for a random afternoon snuggle while listening to Baby Shark and eating animal crackers. I wanted her to thrive in all parts of her toddler world, but my attachment to the daily plan was not the way to get her there because all that planning was about me, not her. More on that later. As challenging as it can be to own, none of us control anything in this life outside of how we choose to show up. Thriving is not about making exhaustive plans fueled by expectations that don't serve our highest good. Thriving is about choosing to be present, to pause when that is what life needs, to listen to divine guidance, to take scary, audacious steps and to trust that at the end of the day, all will work out just as it should. Now, I'm self-aware enough to know that all sounds pretty, but it's not always easy to embrace. I mean, don't forget, I've been making God laugh for the last 4 months. Okay, maybe more like all of my adult life. But here's what I want you to remember. While the journey is not always pretty or easy, when we choose to stay the course, to focus on getting and staying connected to the truth of who we were each created to be, it will always be worth it. And yes, I can say that confidently, even while a tad bit sleep deprived because our tiny human is struggling with those winter kid cooties. As you move through your day and week, if you find yourself struggling to release that desire to control everything around you as you plan yourself out of life's great joys, let's talk about it. I want you to visit sherrysamuels.com and schedule a complimentary consultation where we can talk about your why behind why you want to control things and how we can start to reframe that information, create new stories, and move in a new direction. And if you want to know my why behind this desire to control all the things, stay tuned for next week's message. In the meantime, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will look forward to seeing you again next week. I am Sherry Samuels, the voice coach, and this was your thought for the week.